Renji undergoes severe emotional and physical trauma during the first invasion. Fighting alongside his captain, Kuchiki Byakuya, Renji watches helplessly as his captain's Bankai is stolen and used to shred him to bits. Before he attacks, he is pummeled by masked masculine and incapacitated. After his training in the Soul King Palace, Renji arrives just in time to stop masked masculine from killing Captain Otaribashi. When masked masculine asks him to identify himself, Renji calmly responds, "A villain." Renji proceeds to use his new Bankai to defeat masked masculine, in a riveting display of power. During the first invasion, 7 masked Turnirators storm the offices of the 1st Division, of which Shigekuni Yamamoto is the captain. Surprised, the leader of the invading army remarks that, for the head's quarters, the office does not seem too keen on security. Yamamoto, finally turning to face them, remarks that he has nothing to fear. Having been the head captain of the Soul Society for over 1,000 years, his steely confidence is well-founded. When Sasaki is impaled against the wall by a Quincy arrow, Yamamoto displays his prowess by rescuing Sasaki with a blazingly fast shunpo. He then attempts to attack the invaders, but they escape, a wise decision on their part. The Schutzstaffel refers to the elite bodyguards of Iwak, the leader of the Quincy army. Comprised of Leo Baro, Gerard Valkyrie, Bernida Punkages, and Askin Naklavar, they are the most powerful Sternritter assigned to guard Iwak. As they accompany him to the Soul King Palace, they quickly make light work of the Zero Division, prior to realizing that they were fighting an illusion. When the veil lifts, Nimaya, the creator of all Zanpakuto, appears. When the brash Gerard shrugs off Nimaya's blocking of his attack as being down to luck, Nimaya dodges and strikes him down, telling the guard it was his turn. In a spectacular display of skill, abilities and might, he then takes down each of the Schutzstaffel. The Sternritter as Note is the owner of the ability known as Fear. By striking an opponent with his modified arrows, as Note can induce feelings of absolute terror in his opponents. Despite their initial understanding that the Quincy's can manipulate their Bankai, the Shinigami believe it is sealing the Bankai and not stealing it. Byakuya pays the price for this unfortunate miscommunication, and his Bankai is stolen. After As Note uses it to viscerally shred him, Byakuya hangs on till Ichigo arrives. Swallowing his pride and apologizing, Byakuya asks Ichigo to save them with his dying breath. After Ichigo escapes Kurjopi's jail, he lands on the Soul Society that has been devastated by the Quincy invasion. Ichigo immediately goes about honoring Byakuya's wish and confronts Iwak and Haskwalth. However, his attacks are futile and end with Iwak thrusting his sword through his neck. To everyone's surprise, however, Ichigo has somehow activated Blutvene, a Quincy defensive technique, and managed to nullify the blow. Ichigo attempts to fight back, but his sword is quickly broken by Haskwalth. Iwak, leaving, marvels at how little Ichigo knows about his origins. He utters the above and opens the path to Ichigo learning about his true origins. Kuraku is one of the oldest and most powerful Shinigami in existence. When the captain commander is killed, the Central 46 appoint Kuraku in his stead. His first task as the new head of the Soul Society is to eliminate the Quincy threat. When they arrive at the Soul King Palace, Kuraku encounters his first foe, Leo Baro. Surprising the Quincy by appearing behind him, Kuraku explains to the stunned Sternritter that he was simply observing only an illusion. Leo refuses to accept he made a mistake. This irks Kuraku, and he retorts with the above, setting the stage for a key battle. Kara Izuru is the lieutenant of the 3rd Division. During the first invasion, he is leading a force in anticipating the attack and defending against it. Unfortunately, Kira is eliminated as soon as the Quincy land. An arrow blitzes through his side, boring a large hole through his right abdomen, effectively incapacitating him. Fortunately, the machinations of Soul Society's resident scientist resuscitate him somewhat, and he encounters Leo Baro's weakened form. When asked who he is, Kira says he is a dead man, leaving all in suspense and disbelief about his new form and any possible abilities. During the first invasion, Ichigo pays a visit to Muken, the underground prison under the 1st Division's barracks where Aizen had been sentenced to for 20,000 years. When Ichigo departs, he attempts to extend his battle with Ichigo but realizes that his time was up. Marveling at Aizen's prowess, he mentions he did not expect his perception to be thrown off by a bound Aizen. In the final battle, Aizen, Renji, and Ichigo form a tag team, taking turns to battle Ichigo. The final twist has Aizen saying the above to Ichigo, a pivotal moment that turned the tide of that battle. The 1000-year blood war begins with the Karakura 5 being a solid and happy unit. After the first round of attacks, Ryu dives deeper into researching his Quincy origins. After a while, Ryu Ishida joins the Vandenreich and is declared Ichigo's successor. He is also granted the Shrift the Antithesis, an ability which according to Ichigo might surpass even his own. After attacking Ichigo and the crew to maintain his ruse, Ryu continues his infiltration mission. When Haskwolf confronts Ryu about this, Ryu prepares to fight him. Despite Ichigo's initial reservations, Ryu assures Ichigo that he shall not die, and the ensuing battle serves as a beautiful display of his new abilities. Kenpachi is a title given to the strongest Shinigami in Soul Society. After the first invasion, despite killing 3 Sternritter by himself, Zaraki Kenpachi is defeated simply by Ichigo. After his recovery and healing, Kuraku instructs Unohana to train Zaraki Kenpachi. By battling Unohana repeatedly and defeating her, Zaraki can fully own the title of Kenpachi. After this, he encounters Gremi Thormo, a Sternritter with the ability to bend reality. Upon slashing her, she informs Kenpachi that she has made her body as hard as steel. Still in emotional pain after slaying Unohana, Kenpachi simply retorts that there is nothing he can't cut, and proudly refers to himself by the moniker he inherited from her,